Yo, this is Terrell, Hall of Fame, D-Line, and these are Bully Rants. One of the basic questions I've been getting asked, and it's not a stupid question. It's a very relevant question, is from my experience, which goes back now a long time. What were these dogs? What were these dogs made of? And I'm just going to give you an honest answer. If you rewind back to what is now like 20 years ago, 97 or whatever, that I started messing around with the dogs, maybe longer than that. But the one thing about it is that the talk that we always hear today, bulldog this, bulldog that, it just wasn't there. It wasn't relevant. No one had the want to have their dog with bulldog characteristics at all. And that was very simply even the face. No one wanted their dog to have bulldog characteristics in the face. That was almost unheard of. If you did have those kind of characteristics, you were looked down upon. And now, today, I hear a million excuses, a million different varieties. Oh, I could have put American Bulldog in there, or I could have put English Bulldog in there. And English is one of their favorite ones, but it never makes sense. Because at that time, everybody's goal was, and I always bring up a dog like 21 Blackjack because it always sticks out in my mind that Ed Shepherd, even on his website, had a big picture of 21 Blackjack weighing in at 106 pounds. And that was the big thing. Everybody wanted a 100-pound blue dog back then. You don't breed an English Bulldog to a UKC Pit Bull to get a 100-pound dog with tight skin, tight paws, good movement. That just doesn't make sense. And then there's these conspiracy theories like, well, they hid the dogs and they made... No one hid any damn dogs. These people can keep a secret if, their lives depended on it. So if someone was breeding all of these dogs in the backyard and just plucking out certain dogs, you would have easily found out. Even more so, how would you know as a tiny puppy what the dog was going to grow into? If you rewind the clock back to the, what I call the heyday of bullies, the majority of the bullies had a certain look about them. Some were bullier than others, but at the end of the day, you didn't see people parading out dogs that just looked flat out like a bulldog. Even I remember it was sort of a controversy where they said that Thing looked he's too bulldogish, he's too bulldogish. Well, today, if you look at a picture of Thing, he almost looks like a classic, even though he was a 100-pound dog to what, what is being put out there today. So, at the end of the day, a lot of what happened was pretty much what you hear a lot of older breeders say. It was selective breeding, and it was a process. It was a long process at times, but it was a process because you wanted to go forward and pick the best. Breed to the best from this litter. Breed to the best from that litter. Some dogs were very bully. Then again, a lot of us, even myself, going back to then, I can definitely tell you that I produced some dogs who were straight, pretty much UKC Pit Bulls. But by taking the more bullier dogs and breeding those to other bullier dogs and compounding those traits, that's what you had. You had a lot of gaff blood, which was great blood for structure and stuff like that. And it was just a lot of different show bloods at that time that people used and took the bigger dogs, which even when you talk to UKC breeders, they'll tell you that when they bred their dogs, sometimes they would have these massive type of dogs. And it was cool for them because they would pet home them, where the difference was we wanted those dogs. And it was selective breeding. And of course, anytime you have a good thing, especially when people see that there's money involved, it got corrupted and people did start mixing certain things in there. And I'm not going to point any fingers, but if you want to go back and you want to talk about the very old EE Razor's Edge dogs, or the older Gotti line dogs, which were basically gray line dogs, no, those dogs were not bulldog mixes, and everybody did not have fun throwing a bunch of bulldogs in them. I mean, not to say no one did it, but for the mass majority, no one was trying to add a bulldog in because it had far too many undesirable traits for you to deal with. And wrinkles was a big issue, high rears was an issue, and kink tails was an issue. The lower jaw, that was an issue. So why would you go looking for a bulldog to add to a dog that you didn't want any of these traits in? So, you know, but nowadays we have a lot of people doing what they want to do and using those times as an excuse. I wish I could go more and more and give examples, but these things are supposed to be pretty short. So maybe we'll elaborate on another one. I'll catch y'all.